What if I told you there are 6 simple morning rituals so powerful, so overlooked that billionaires, top athletes, and world-class performers swear by them every single day? And here's the kicker. The 6th ritual? It's the secret weapon behind their success, the exact move that separates the dreamers from the doers, the rich from the rest. Stick with me, because I'm going to break down these rituals one by one. And trust me, you don't want to miss the 6th one. It's the kind of insight that could literally change your life. So before we jump in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash the like, because this channel is for those who are ready to level up and take real action. Morning ritual number 1. The 10-minute war room. Let me introduce you to something most people never do. Strategic self-confrontation. Sounds intimidating. Good, because it is. Every single morning, before the chaos of the day takes over, you step into what I call your war room. It's not a room with swords and shields. It's your notebook, your mind, your mission. Because here's the raw truth. Most people start the day reacting. Champions start the day attacking. Let me tell you a quick story. In 1939, during the peak of World War II, Winston Churchill had a secret bunker underneath the streets of London, a room where no sound from the outside could reach him. It was here that he planned strategies that literally determined the fate of the free world. You may not be running a country under siege, but if you're trying to build a life that matters, a business that breaks the mold, a version of yourself you're proud of, then you're at war too. A silent, invisible war. And the battleground? It's your first 10 minutes of the day. So here's what to do. Every morning, before you touch your phone, before you open your inbox, before you speak to anyone, you sit down and you ask yourself 5 questions. Write them out. Don't just think them. Thinking is passive. Writing is warfare. 1. What are the 3 most important things I can do today to move closer to my vision? Not urgent. Not reactive. Important. Vision aligned. If you don't know what they are, stop everything and define your vision first. 2. What is one thing I've been avoiding and why? Avoidance is the enemy's favorite weapon. Name it. Face it. Execute it. 3. How do I want to feel by the end of today and what will help me feel that way? You're not a robot. You're a creator of your internal state. Don't just plan tasks. Plan emotions. 4. What am I grateful for right now, in this exact moment? It sounds cliché, but gratitude isn't a mood booster. It's a cognitive shift. It snaps your brain out of scarcity and into power. 5. If today was my last day alive, how would I show up? Ask it every single day. Not to be morbid, but to be alive. Now here's the catch. This entire ritual takes less than 10 minutes, but it resets your brain. From anxious autopilot to conscious leadership. Let me pause and ask you something. When was the last time you felt like the CEO of your own life? Not a follower of to-do lists. Not a servant to notifications, but a sovereign. A strategist. A force. This ritual makes that happen. And the more chaotic your life feels right now, the more you need it. I know what some of you are thinking, but I'm not a morning person. And that's okay. You don't have to be a morning person to run your war room. You just have to be a mission person. If you want a better life, this is where it starts. In silence, with a pen, before the world can tell you who to be. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, do this ritual. No excuses, no skipping. Just 10 minutes with your mind, your mission, and a blank page. Then watch what happens. Your anxiety will shrink. Your focus will grow. Your decisions will sharpen. And that vague feeling of I'm lost will begin to dissolve. Still scrolling TikTok for answers? Or are you ready to become your own compass? Pause this video. Hit like if you feel that shift in your gut already. And keep watching, because the next ritual takes this even further. Morning ritual number 2. The body switch trigger. Let me be blunt. If your body feels like trash, your brain doesn't stand a chance. People try to hustle their way through burnout. They try to think their way through fatigue. But what they don't realize is this. Your physiology is your power source. And the first 15 minutes after you wake up determine whether your body will work with you or against you all day. Now, I'm not going to tell you to go run 5 miles at 5 a.m. or take an ice bath on a mountain top. This isn't a motivational montage. It's a tactical shift. I call it the body switch trigger, a short, controlled burst of physical stimulation that literally flips your body out of sleep mode and into full power mode. And it takes less than 5 minutes. Let me show you why this works with a story. Back in 2011, neuroscientists studied Navy SEALs during Hell Week. That's the most brutal part of SEAL training. sleep deprivation, cold water, physical pain, total exhaustion. They found something fascinating. The SEALs who survived didn't have more muscles. They had a faster switch, meaning they trained their bodies to go from calm to combat ready within seconds. Now think about your mornings. How do you start your day? Dragging, scrolling, snoozing, moving like your body weighs 500 pounds. You're in sleep inertia. You're foggy, slow, stuck in neutral. Here's how to flip that switch in a way that's accessible for anyone, anywhere. Step 1. Hydrate before you caffeinate. Seriously, you lose a pound of water overnight. Your brain is dehydrated. Chug 12 to 16 ounces of cold water the moment you wake up. Bonus points if you add lemon and salt. You'll feel your neurons light up like a Christmas tree. Step 2 to 60 seconds of explosive movement. No gym, no equipment. Just move with intensity. Try this. 20 jumping jacks, 10 air squats, 10 push-ups, 30 seconds shadowboxing like you're in a movie fight scene. Go hard. This isn't a workout. This is a wake-up. Step 3. Cold exposure. Yes, I said it. It doesn't have to be a full cold shower. Start with just 30 seconds of cold water at the end of your regular shower. That's it. Your dopamine will spike. Your blood vessels will constrict and expand. You'll feel 10 times more awake than any cup of coffee could make you. Now, some of you are skeptical. I get it. I was too. But when I first tried this routine, I went from groggy zombie to fully alert in less than 5 minutes. I remember sitting at my desk, 6:30 a.m., heart pumping, mind clear, ready to go, and I thought, why haven't I done this for the last 10 years of my life? Because here's what they don't tell you in school. Your mind doesn't lead your body. Your body leads your mind. Ever tried focusing when your body is sluggish? It's like trying to sprint through molasses. But when your body is activated, your mind follows. Your energy multiplies. Your thoughts sharpen. You feel like a machine. So ask yourself, are you entering the day like a zombie or like a weapon? Let me drop a quick truth bomb. Most people aren't lazy, they're just trapped in low energy states, and they don't even know it. Your ritual is not just about energy, it's about identity. When you move like someone who wins, your brain starts believing you are someone who wins. Here's what I want you to do tomorrow morning. Don't think, don't hesitate. The moment your feet hit the floor, go straight into this water movement. Cold, boom. Then tell me in the comments how it felt. And if you're enjoying this video so far, if this is hitting different than the usual surface level fluff, smash that like button. It helps more than you know. But don't go anywhere yet, because the third ritual is the one most people screw up completely, and it might just be the most important one of all. Morning ritual number 3. The mental rehearsal loop. Have you ever had one of those days or everything just clicked? You walked into a meeting and said the right things. You made progress without forcing it. You were in the zone, confident, focused, sharp. And you probably told yourself, man, if only every day could feel like this. Well, what if I told you it can? Because there's a secret high performers use that most people dismiss as woo-woo until they experience the results. It's called mental rehearsal. And no, it's not sitting cross-legged chanting positive affirmations into the void. It's the deliberate practice of mentally living through your day before it happens and programming your brain to respond with clarity, control, and confidence. Let me take you into the science for a second. In the early 2000s, researchers conducted an experiment with basketball players. They split them into 3 groups. Group A practiced free throws physically. Group B did nothing. Group C didn't touch a basketball at all. They only visualized themselves shooting perfectly for 30 minutes a day. Guess what happened? Group A improved by 24%. Group B, no improvement. Group C, the ones who only visualized, improved by 23%, almost identical to the group that actually practiced. Think about that. Their brains couldn't tell the difference between reality and imagination. And that's the whole point, because the way your brain works is simple. What you rehearse, it repeats. So if you mentally rehearse stress, fear, failure, procrastination, you create it. If you rehearse calm, confidence, clarity, you create that instead. Here's how to do this right. It takes 5 minutes. No fancy apps, just you, your breath, and your imagination. Step 1. Sit still. Eyes closed. Breathe deeply. You don't need to meditate. Just get quiet. 30 seconds. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Reset your nervous system. Step 2. Visualize your day hour by hour. But here's the key. Not just what you're doing, but how you're being. You've got a difficult call coming up. Visualize yourself sitting tall, speaking clearly, listening patiently, closing with authority. You've got a workout planned. See yourself pushing hard, breathing steady, finishing strong. Even mundane things, emails, chores, errands, see yourself doing them with intention, not autopilot. Step 3. Feel the feelings. Don't just watch it like a movie. Step into it. Feel the pride, the power, the presence. That's what locks it in, because your nervous system doesn't follow thoughts, it follows emotion. You need to encode the emotion before the moment arrives. I started doing this ritual years ago, when I was drowning in overwhelm. I was working 12-hour days, saying yes to everyone, losing track of myself. Then, I heard an Olympic athlete say something that hit me like a punch. If you don't program your mind in the morning, someone else will program it for you. I wrote it down, taped it to my mirror, and I started this rehearsal practice every single day. At first, it felt awkward, pointless even, but within 2 weeks, I noticed something crazy. I was calmer under pressure. I was solving problems faster. I stopped getting blindsided by my own emotions. Why? Because I had already seen the moment before it came. My brain didn't panic. It recognized the terrain. It said, "Ah, we've been here before. Let's execute." And you can have that too. Not just for business, for conversations, for creativity, for life. You want to ask someone out? Rehearse it. You want to pitch your idea? Rehearse it. You want to stay calm when your boss unloads on you? Rehearse it. Most people walk into their day like tourists with no map. Mental rehearsal gives you the blueprint. And when you combine it with the other two rituals, the war room, the body switch, you become unstoppable. Now, be honest, are you currently reacting to life? Or rehearsing it? Because life is going to happen either way. But when you've seen the movie before, you're no longer the extra, you're the director. If you've ever wanted to feel like you're finally in control, not of what happens to you, but of how you show up, this is the practice that flips the script. Try it tomorrow, just once. Visualize the day before you live it, then come back and comment what changed. Because the next level of your life doesn't come from working harder. It comes from training your nervous system to meet your future self before your circumstances do. And trust me, that's exactly where we're heading next. Because the fourth ritual I'm about to show you, it doesn't just change your day, it changes your identity. Morning ritual number 4. The identity alignment affirmation done right. Let me ask you a question, one that most people never stop to ask. Who are you becoming every morning you wake up? Not what you're doing, not what your goals are, but who you're actually shaping yourself into day by day, hour by hour, silently, without realizing it. Because here's the harsh truth. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your identity. And your identity is shaped by repetition. Every single day, when you open your eyes, your brain loads the software of you. Same patterns, same beliefs, same internal dialogue, until one day you decide to change the script. And that's what this fourth ritual does. But before you roll your eyes and say, affirmations, really? Let me be clear. This is not about chanting "I'm a millionaire" into the mirror while your life is on fire. That's delusion, and it doesn't work. This is about something very different. It's called identity alignment, and it means one thing. Speaking to yourself every morning, not as who you are, but as who you are becoming, with ruthless honesty and deliberate vision. Let me give you a story to bring this to life. Years ago, I knew a guy named Eric. Brilliant dude, ambitious, but stuck. Every time we talked, he'd say things like, "I'm such a procrastinator. I always start stuff but never finish. I'm not a morning person. I know what I should do. I just don't do it." Sound familiar? He wasn't broken, but his identity loop was. And no matter how many productivity hacks he tried, he kept defaulting back to that same version of himself. Until one day I asked him, "What if the problem isn't what you're doing, but who you think you are?" That day, I gave him a script, a short, powerful set of statements to read aloud every single morning, designed to rewire his internal identity at the root. It wasn't fluffy, it was fire. Here's what it sounded like. I am the type of person who follows through, no matter how I feel. I keep promises to myself even when no one is watching. My discipline is stronger than my moods. I do the hard things first and I do them fast. Every action I take today is proof of who I'm becoming. No hype, no lies, just identity, spoken with conviction. He started reading it every morning out loud, with presence, while looking in the mirror. not to feel good, to program truth into his nervous system. And within 30 days, everything changed. He didn't just get more done. He became someone else. Someone who showed up differently, talked differently, worked differently, made decisions like a man on a mission. That's what identity alignment does. It doesn't pump you up. It builds you up. Here's how to create your own. Step 1. Identify the version of you that achieves your vision. What kind of person wakes up early, follows through, stays calm under stress, and builds the life you want? Be specific. How do they talk, move, decide? Step 2. Turn those traits into present tense declarations. Start each line with I am the type of person who, or I always, or I don't. Step 3. Speak it aloud every morning. Out loud. With tone. Not a whisper. Not in your head. Out loud. Because your nervous system responds to energy, sound, and intention, not silence. Optional bonus. Record your voice reading your affirmations over instrumental music and play it back every day while getting ready. Let your future self speak into your current reality. And know you won't feel it at first, but you don't brush your teeth because you feel like it. You do it because it protects you. Same thing here. This is psychological hygiene. Most people wake up and unconsciously affirm their old identity. I'm so behind. Another day. I hope I don't screw this up. You don't need more motivation. You need a new mirror. You need to speak your identity into existence before the world reminds you of who you used to be. Here's the final piece. This ritual doesn't work unless you act in alignment, meaning, after you speak it, you must move like it's true. Walk like someone with a mission. Decide like someone with vision. Work like someone with standards. Because words without action are delusion. The words with action, that's transformation. So tomorrow morning, while the rest of the world is scrolling, snoozing, and surviving, you're going to stand in front of the mirror and say, this is who I am now, and I act like it no matter what. Because once your identity shifts, everything else will follow. And guess what? We're still not done. The next ritual, the fifth one, is where things get deeply personal. It's not just about productivity or mindset. It's about reconnecting with a part of yourself you've been ignoring for far too long. Morning ritual number 5. The emotional inventory check-in. Let me say something that might sting a little. You're not overwhelmed because you're weak. You're overwhelmed because you've been carrying too much, for too long, in silence. And no one taught you how to unpack it. No one taught you that before you conquer the world, you have to check in with the world inside you. This fifth ritual isn't flashy. You won't see it on viral morning routine TikToks. You won't hear CEOs brag about it on podcasts. But this might be the most human ritual of all. It's called the emotional inventory. And it works like this. Every morning before the day spins you into busyness, you pause for just 3 to 5 minutes, take a breath, and ask yourself one question. What am I actually feeling right now and why? It sounds simple, but most people never ask, because they're afraid of the answer. So instead, they numb, scroll, bury, distract, push it down and power through. But the emotions don't disappear. They just hide. And what hides, festers. And what festers, eventually explodes. Or worse, it silently poisons your focus, your relationships, your creativity, your joy. Let me tell you a story. There was a time in my life when I was productive on the outside but hollow on the inside. I was doing everything right. Waking up early, working hard, making money. But something was off. I couldn't explain it. Just this foggy restlessness, this background anxiety that never fully went away. Until one morning, after another night of tossing and turning, I sat down, opened a blank page, and asked, what am I actually feeling? And I wrote the truth. I feel lonely. I feel exhausted from pretending I'm fine. I feel like I'm building something that doesn't even feel like mine anymore. I stared at those words, and for the first time in a long time I felt real. Not optimized. Not productive. Just real. And that moment broke something open. Not in a bad way. In a necessary way. Because clarity always comes after honesty. That's what this ritual gives you. Emotional clarity. Here's how to practice it. Step 1. Ask the question. Write the answer. What am I feeling right now? Don't judge it. Don't fix it. Just name it. Sad. Angry. Scared. Excited. Guilty. Numb. Proud. Whatever it is, bring it to the light. Step 2. Ask why, but gently. Don't interrogate yourself. Just be curious. Why might I be feeling this way? not always logical. Sometimes it's cumulative. Sometimes it's old wounds echoing. Step 3. Close with compassion. Ask yourself, what do I need to hear right now? And write it, as if you were speaking to your closest friend. Maybe it's, you're allowed to slow down. You're not behind. You've been carrying so much. Give yourself a moment to breathe. You've come further than you realize. Because the truth is, discipline without compassion turns into self-punishment. But when you bring both, you become unbreakable. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you gave yourself permission to just feel without guilt, without fixing, without performance? Most people don't realize it, but they're not burned out from work. They're burned out from emotional compression, from pretending, from stuffing it all down and calling it strength. But real strength, it's being able to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I see you. I hear you. You're allowed to be human. And when you do this regularly, something miraculous happens. The fog lifts, the tension eases, the choices get clearer, the noise fades. You stop reacting out of old wounds and start responding from grounded truth. So tomorrow morning, try this. Before your calls, before your grind, before you step into the armor the world demands of you, sit down, breathe, and check in. Because underneath the goals, the plans, the strategies, there's just a person, you. And you deserve a seat at your own table. If this ritual hits something in you, let it. And if you've been pushing away some feeling lately, maybe today's the day you stop running from it and start listening. You don't need fixing, you need witnessing. And that is what most successful people are missing. They're winning on paper, but disconnected from themselves. Don't let that be you. You're not just building a life, you're building a self. And the next ritual, it's where all the pieces start to lock in. Because ritual number 6 is where mindset becomes movement and your vision becomes visible. Morning ritual number 6. The micro-momentum move. Let me paint a picture. You've done your war room session. You've activated your body. You've rehearsed your day. You've spoken your identity into existence. You've checked in with your emotional state. Now what? Most people after all that open their laptop and go straight into email, straight into social media, straight into someone else's agenda. And just like that, they hand the wheel of their day to someone else. That the most successful people I've ever worked with, interviewed, or studied, they do something different. They begin every single day with what I call the micro-momentum move. What is it? It's a small, specific, high-impact action that you execute immediately after your rituals, one that creates a feeling of unstoppable forward motion. Because let's be honest, motivation is unreliable, confidence is often quiet, but momentum is loud. And once you have it, it becomes addictive. Let me tell you a quick story. There was a young entrepreneur named Maya. She was stuck in what she called the planning paralysis loop. She journaled, she visualized, she watched productivity content for hours. But she wasn't executing. Her mornings were full of great intention but zero motion. So I gave her one task. Every morning, after your rituals, complete one specific needle-moving action. Just one. Doesn't have to be big. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to be done. She chose a simple rule. Before 9 a.m., I send one pitch, one email, one offer, one ask. 7 days later, she landed 2 new clients. 3 weeks later, she doubled her revenue. Not because of some magic email template, but because of daily micro-momentum. This ritual is about training your brain to associate mornings with movement. Not passive, not prepping, producing. So here's how to make it work. Step 1. Identify your 1% action. This is not a task that feels productive but keeps you in planning mode. This is something that moves your life or mission forward by 1%. Examples: send that follow-up email you've been avoiding, publish that piece of content, start the first 5 minutes of that big project, make one uncomfortable call, hit record, and film the first take. Step 2. Anchor it to your morning rituals. You don't do this whenever you get to it. You do it immediately after your routine. No gap, no buffer. Rituals gives micro-momentum, gives win. Step 3. Track it visibly. Use a wall calendar, a whiteboard, a sticky note, something you physically mark every time you complete the move. That streak will fuel you more than any external reward. Because here's the truth. Momentum is emotional. You don't build belief by thinking. You build belief by doing, especially when it's uncomfortable. And the best part? Micro-momentum multiplies. One small win before 9 a.m. turns into 2 wins before noon, turns into a completely different energy by evening. But here's what separates winners from watchers. Winners don't wait to feel ready. They act and become ready in motion. This ritual is your launchpad. Every single morning, you're either delaying your power or you're declaring it through action. Let me be even more direct. Want to build a business? Start building something today, not just reading about it. Want to become a creator? Publish something, yes, even if it's imperfect. Want to have better relationships? Send that message, apologize, speak the truth. Because the life you want isn't built in your head, it's built through movement. So tomorrow morning, after your rituals, ask yourself, what's the one thing I've been putting off that I can do right now? Then do it, messily, bravely, fast. Not for the result, for the momentum. And if this entire video has lit something inside you, don't let that flame die. Fuel it, move with it, act on it. In fact, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button now. Not because I said so, because you said so by staying with me this far. This channel isn't for spectators. It's for builders, movers, sharpeners, people who don't just want to learn success, they want to embody it. And this final ritual, that's your first brick. So, let's rewind. You started this video thinking, just tell me 3 simple morning rituals. But what you got was a war plan, a system, a complete mental, emotional, and physical ignition sequence designed to pull you out of autopilot and place you back in the driver's seat of your life. No fluff, no guru hype, just truth, precision, and fire. Let me remind you what you now hold in your hands. A war room that makes you a strategist, a body switch that turns energy into weaponry, a mental rehearsal that programs clarity before the chaos, an identity alignment that reshapes who you are from the ground up, an emotional inventory that clears the fog so your fire can breathe, and a micro-momentum move that turns potential into motion daily. This is not about having a better morning. It's about becoming a different person, because at the end of the day, the most dangerous version of you isn't the one with more money, more followers, or a better schedule. It's the version that wakes up with intention, acts with clarity, and moves with conviction. And that version of you, you just met them. Now here's your choice. You can close this video, nod your head, feel inspired and forget everything by lunch. Or you can screenshot these 6 rituals. You can build them into your life. You can test them for 7 days, no skipping, no tomorrow, no negotiating. And you can watch what happens to your clarity, your power, your results, and your peace. Because that shift you've been craving, it's not waiting for a miracle, it's waiting for a morning. And if this video gave you something, anything, then hit that like button, share it with someone who needs it, and make sure you're subscribed. Not for the algorithm, for the alignment. I'll see you in the next one, but more importantly, you'll see yourself showing up like never before. Game on.